How did you become the go-to person to be the world's most scariest statue?
Well, my agent rang me up one day and asked for my measurements. And then about 2 weeks later, I think it was, he rang me up again and said, "Oh, we've got an audition on Doctor Who." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's that's great." So I went to the audition, then worked with the choreographer, and I think it was about an hour later she rang me. I was on my way home. I missed the call. She'd rung me to say that I had the job. So yeah.
How's the audition for a Weeping Angel? Do they just play like that game of statues that we played in the playground? Like, are you really good at standing still?
I think so, by now anyway. Worked a lot at it. Worked with the choreographer on the poses and stuff like that, and just kind of worked out sequences for the auditions, and we worked together then for the series then.
So you go right back to the original episode Blink with the Weeping Angels, or not?
I started with Time of Angels.
Right, okay, so you actually had some idea of what you were going into. Had you watched Doctor Who before that, and in fact, had you seen Blink?
I started watching Doctor Who when Christopher Eccleston brought it back, and I did watch Blink, and I found it absolutely terrifying. Yeah,
which, I mean, truly one of the most iconically scary monsters of all time now, and it's hard to believe that they're only really a few years old. You would be awesome as one of those busking statue people now, wouldn't you? Because of all the practice you've had. You reckon you'd be good at that?
I could try it. Yeah, I'll earn a bit of extra money.
You've only got to stand, except if you did it as a Weeping Angel, of course, everyone would run away. They wouldn't throw any money in the box.
I wouldn't want to come close.
Yeah, okay, so don't do that. That's a bad idea, okay? Don't actually do that. Why do you think the producers kept getting you back to play the Angels? I mean, was it just because you really nailed what they wanted, the look and the feel?
Well, I hope it's because I did it well. I'm just glad that they keep bringing me back, because I absolutely love it. You know, just being on Doctor Who, whether it's the Angel or anything else, but of course the Angel is such an iconic character, so brilliant to play.
It's why it's actually cool often being a sci-fi villain, alien type thing where there's a lot of makeup, because you can continue to play different characters and people don't know that it's you. I mean, I really love Christopher Heyerdahl, who played almost all the Wraith on Stargate Atlantis, because they all look a little bit different, but he was obviously good in the makeup. What's the makeup like?
Well, it takes about 3 hours to put it on. It's not too bad, actually, for the Weeping Angel. The Clara Time Zombie was harder because it was the prosthetics from your feet up to the top of your head, basically, and you're zipped into it, glued into it. It's very, very warm. The Angel, you've got a bit of breathing space because your arms are exposed. The skirt only goes on when you're filming, and the wings as well, and the mask. So yeah, it's not too bad to just hang around in.
Clara Zombie, I'm glad you brought that up. That's amazing to be able to play a zombie version of a character already on the show. How did you approach that? And was it sort of weird with Jenna Coleman?
I wasn't weird with her. She was, she's very easy to work with. Very lovely. Again, worked with the choreographer on that a lot. That was a bit more difficult because you had to work so much on the physicality of it. We started off doing quite animalistic movements, so it was very low to the floor, kind of more of an angry animal, kind of. But then we showed the director he wanted a bit more human. So we kind of just worked out different ways to play it, and then of course we kind of went a bit halfway then. But yeah, it was really good working with Jenna, because it was the first time I worked with her as well, and to play kind of her is a bit weird.
So you've worked opposite David Tennant. No, you didn't?
No, unfortunately. I would have loved to have worked with him. I think he's an absolutely brilliant actor.
Because it would have been really interesting to see behind the scenes of how his style differed from Matt Smith's style. But let's just talk about Matt. He just seems on camera like a bounce-off-the-walls crazy sort of guy. What's he like off?
He's basically the same, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between him as the Doctor and him in life. He's, just a very lovely person. He's quite bouncy and happy and, yeah, just really nice.
So do you think we'll see the Weeping Angels opposite Peter Capaldi?
I would love it if they did. I think he'd be... I'd love to see how his Doctor reacts to them. Yeah.
Because I sort of get the impression he'd just punch one in the face, sort of thing.
Well, I hope he doesn't. That would hurt.
That would be bad for you. Yes, good point. I just thought of that when I said that. Yeah, okay, we'll cut that question out. You've done at least one episode of a fantastic web series called Cops and Monsters. That is just really, really funny. Is that fun to make?
Yes. Well, when the director contacted me, told me that he wanted me to play a vampire. I've always wanted to play a vampire, so I was just like, yes. And then reading the script, seeing her personality, and she's very standoffish and a bit doesn't want to bother with people. But yeah, she's a very interesting character to play, and yeah, it's a good series. We're filming the rest of it next year.
So it is happening.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic! Is there any plans for it to get bigger than it is? Because I think it should be a TV show.
Well, hopefully. I think it's one of those things that'll just keep growing. Yeah.
Great. Oh, Sarah Madison, thank you so much for being on Nerdzilla.
Thank you very much.
And fabulous hat, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, it doesn't work on radio, but that's okay. I just thought I'd mention that.
Thank you.